Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to show you how I make a book sleeve. So I'm going to be making a book sleeve that looks like this, different fabric, a different pattern, but this is what the actual sleeve looks like. I got the instructions for this off of a website called Instructables, and I printed out the instructions a while ago, and I have just been making all of my sleeves based off of that. So if I can find the link for that, I will link that down below. I'm going to be giving this as a Christmas gift to someone, but I am giving it away, and so I want to do a really good job with this, so I figure I will film it, and that will, force me to do an even better job than what I would do for myself. So let me show you the pieces that I'm starting with. Okay, for this project, you're going to need 2 pieces of fabric for the outer cover. So what this is the outer piece. These 2 pieces will be on the outside. These 2 pieces go on the inside. So I thought they looked really nice together for a Christmas book sleeve. You also need 2 pieces of cotton batting. I think this is called cotton batting. It's like soft. It helps give some like insulation to this, so if you drop this, it's like soft. You also need 2 pieces of something called interfacing. So this is the stuff that you like iron on to the fabric, and that gives it a little bit of stiffness, makes it not so floppy. If I can find exactly what these things are, I will link those also, because I'm pretty sure you can buy all of this off of like Amazon. I think I got it at Joanns, but I will try to find it and link it in case you want to order it. So these pieces need to be cut 10.5 inches tall and 8.5 inches wide. So I just doubled up the fabric and cut those out. These pieces are supposed to be cut a 1/2 inch bigger than these. So that is what I'm working with. I've got all my pieces cut out. I didn't want to show that because that's really boring. But right now I think I'm at the part where I have to iron the interfacing onto the fabric. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, also I want to add that the instructions for the interfacing might be different depending on what kind you get. The instructions on the Instructables right here says to fuse the bumpy side, this is the bumpy side, of this onto the wrong side of the outer fabric. So this is my outer fabric, this is the wrong side. I'm gonna iron on the bumpy side, and I feel like I don't have the packaging for this anymore, but I feel like when I had the packaging, it said to cover this with like a damp cloth and iron it that way, so that is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I have my interfacing attached to the fabric. So that is what it looks like, and it's just a bit stiffer, not as floppy. So now the next step is to take the cotton batting and you lay it on each of these pieces and pin it down so you can sew all of that together. Okay, so I have these pinned together. So this is now the top layer, the interfacing ironed onto that, and the cotton batting pinned onto that. And what I'm supposed to do now, and this is the hardest part for me, is I'm supposed to quilt this. And quilting just means sewing lines through this, basically. And there's 2 different ways to do this. The instructions, the person who did it in the instructions just did like squares. They did lines going up and lines going across. So I could do that, or I could do crisscross, like X's, if you know what I mean, which would be harder. So I think I'm gonna do up and down, which isn't as fancy, but I'm not good at like fancy quilting. I'm not good at quilting at all because it really has to be spaced correctly. So let's try. I have to do both of the pieces, so we'll see how we do. Okay, first I'm gonna sew all the way around the edges to hold it down, and then I'm gonna do lines going down and lines going across. So that's what I'm doing. So now I can take all these pins out. I don't need them to hold it down anymore, and that'll make it easier to sew the lines. I got it quilted, so I think you can see the little lines on there that I sewed, top and bottom. It's pretty even. It's not that bad. I was expecting worse. So you can see it easier on the back here. There's my little grids. So yeah, I got both pieces done, and now the next step is to trim these up. So all of this white that I'm going to cut off. So it's just going to be this that shows. Both of these are done. So these are the outside panels. So this is what it's going to look like on the outside. Okay, this next part I think is a bit difficult, but we're using a hair tie. This is just a regular elastic hairband. That is what they say to use in the instructions right here. And we are going to pin this down on top of this fabric right here. So it makes a loop like this. So once this is all sewn down, this is what we're going to use to be able to close this up. So let me show you on this one. So this one has this little hair tie, and it has a button on this side. So you just pull the hair tie over and tuck it into the button, and that is how we close this. So, all right, we're gonna pin this onto here. Let's see. Pinning this is not the easiest thing to do because this is kind of thick, and getting this little pin through all of this is kind of difficult. Okay, this is the best I can do. That's how it looks. I've got 2 pins in there holding this on. The next thing it says is to take this piece of fabric, the inside fabric, and put it on over top of this. You would do right sides together, but both sides of this fabric are exactly the same, so it doesn't matter which side I put down. Then we pin this top edge where the elastic is, because we are going to sew that. So here's what we've got right now. They are pinned together. And then we repeat that with this side. We are going to pin this piece onto this piece. And again, it would be right sides together, but both of my sides look exactly the same. So we're just going to pin that up at the top because it is going to get sewn up at the top. So these are sewed together. I took the pins out, and when you flip that over, you can see you have the little elastic sticking up on this side. So we are going to open both of these up and put one on top of the other with right sides together so it's matching. And pin all the way around this because we are going to sew most of that, but we're going to leave like a 3-inch opening in one area because we're going to have to pull this through itself. So I'll show you that when we get to it, but don't sew the whole thing. Leave an opening. This is what I do to remind myself to not sew a section, to leave it open. I put 2 pins where I want to start and stop. So now we have this hole, and we are going to stuff this through the hole and pull it out. So now it looks like this, and we are going to tuck the inside into this pocket. So this is what we've got now. Almost finished. The inside looks like this, and the bottom has this hole in it. So we are going to kind of tuck this in on itself, pin that, and sew that down so the whole thing will be closed up. And we also are going to sew a little button right here, so then this can close the pouch. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sew this, and I'm going to sew a little button right here. Okay, I am all done, and here is what it looks like. I think this is really cute. So I got the button sewed on, and the elastic holds it down, so that's how it closes. But yeah, that's what the inside looks like, and the outside. I love this. I really hope the person that I give this to loves it as well. I'm going to show you what it looks like with a book in it. So here is a book that I got. Should fit in here just fine. So yeah, it's in there, and it closes with the book like that. Okay guys, that's all I've got for this video. I hope this was helpful. I'm not really good at describing what I'm doing, so like I said, I'm going to leave the instructions for this down below. You might be able to understand those better than watching me. But yeah, this is what I made, and let me know if there is any other sewing videos you might be interested in. I am going to be making a puff quilt. I don't know if I'm going to film it, but I'm going to try to make a puff quilt. I've never done one before. And I also got fleece because I'm making a simple tie blanket. So yeah, I might film that. Anyway, that's all I've got. I hope y'all are having a great day, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.